So we all know that people make fraud accounts all day long on social media. There are several reasons why I believe that these texts right here is coming from a fraud account. Now, this is supposed to be Janiyah, Jarvis and Shannon's daughter. Okay. Some people even believe that it's not Janiyah. They believe it's actually Naziah and she is still alive somewhere, which is, it's just nuts. But anyway, let's go over these sus texts and I'm going to tell you why I think that this is a fraud account and it's neither Janiyah nor Naziah. Okay. And if you disagree, cool. You know, everybody has their opinion. Just do your video and explain why you feel that these texts are in fact real. So here we go. Okay, so I will be abbreviating to make it easier and faster. So hashtag says, how old is Kayla? Inzi says 16 now. She is a few years older than us. Now Inzi will be the person that everyone is calling Janiyah, or some people are really thinking it's Naziah. So that's who Inzi is, okay? Imperfect says, hey Brooke. Nz says, hey. Imperfect says, I hope this is really her. Cousin, I am rooting for her. IMJ says, when did your dad get caught? Like, what made the cops arrest him? Also, why is Naziah so good at pretending like everything is okay? NZ says, my dad turned himself in, I think in January or February, for a gun charge he had, but he told us he was turning himself in. I don't know, but I know she was a pro, like the family did. Now, what does pro mean? We all know what pro mean. Is this what the alleged cousin is saying Naziah was a pro? You see it right there. I don't know. So I'm back says, okay, so now friends want to come out the woodwork. Where was y'all a month ago when Annette lied on y'all and said Naziah was out fucking? Who said that and which friend? So NZ says it was her friends in Instagram, in her bio. Kayla lives in Texas, not Detroit. She was touched by my dad as well, and I have to testify. I'm back says, who the fuck is the another missing piece to this crazy ass puzzle? Enzi says, I am Naziah and Janiyah's friend who used to stay down the street like 2 doors down. So that basically tells you that right there. So this person, Naziah Harris 15, the one I'm calling NZ for short, okay? People are saying that this is Janiyah. This is Janiyah's Instagram page. Now, clearly, this person fucked up because this person says, I am Naziah and Janiyah's friend who used to stay down the street like 2 doors down. You see what I'm saying? So right there. Sometimes people aren't really good at lying, or people want to see other things, especially with this case right here. So it's a mess, okay? So just call me Miss Harris says, are you and your brothers and sisters safe together? Enzi says, I'm with my mom, so yes, she yells at us, but it's fine. Juju says, I have a question. So if you was with her, was she pregnant? And was you mom gone on January 9th? And did you mom know she was pregnant? So Enzi says, my mom knew, and the family who stayed in the house. My mom was gone, but only my grandmother was at home and my mom twin, which is my aunt. Now, again, if this is Janiyah, but right now we already know this is not Janiyah. She already said clearly she is the friend that stayed a few doors down. So when you are speaking on people that you live with, you don't say, and my other family in the house. We're all family. We are all family. You don't say, and the other family. We are all family. So you see right there, the words is just messed up. If you're talking about you guys collectively as a family, you just say family. That's it. You're family. That's it. Okay, so oh, and one more thing about the My mom twin, which is my aunt. My mother is a twin too of a boy. And I would never say my mom's brother, which is her twin. I would say my Uncle Maurice. So she just should have said my Aunt Marquita. All right. So Love Macon says, "Hey Naya, I'm sorry you have to deal with this. You so strong. Do you know how many kids were hurt by your dad? And if this really was Janiyah, and Janiyah in real life does not know how many people that her father was involved with. Why? Everybody listening to this recording right now, everybody has a father. Do we know how many people our fathers have been intimate with? Whether it was a good intimacy or a bad, no, we don't. So I don't know. This thing was very headachy, but it's trending, and I don't understand why people are really falling for it. So Angie says, you can DM Kayla. She will tell you everything. She was friends with us and she lived down the street. So why can't Janiyah tell everything? This is her family. This is currently her real situation. But why does Kayla, who used to live down the street, who is now in Texas, why does she know everything? You see, right there, people just use a little bit of common sense. That's it. We all have it. Just use it a little bit more. So Caramel says, do you know if there was anyone else that was harmed, that harmed Naziah besides your dad? And why the hell would Janiyah know that? If this was Janiyah, though I proved already really quickly that it's not, but if it was Janiyah, how would she know how many people that her father has SA'd? Her father has been SAing people before she was even born. Her father allegedly SA'd her own mother because her mother was supposed to be 16 when they hooked up. So no, Janiyah would not know this information at all. So Enzi says, I don't know, but my dad was creepy and his friend. So she's calling her father creepy. All right, I'll just pause that right there. So IMJ says, how do you feel about all of this? And NZ says, I just want her home. I wish I spoke up when we all got touched. And you guys actually think, if this is Janiyah, that her mother, Shannon, is allowing her to just communicate with randoms online. And if you're going to say, well, maybe she doesn't know, trust and believe. Trust and believe. Shannon knows what is going on when it comes to this right here. When it comes to people that are putting more stuff in the air. They're already dealing with a lot that I must say they kind of brought on themselves, but it's a lot going out there. And it's like some is true, some is false, some is just totally pulled out somebody's ass, like all this I'm reading right here. So NZ says, yeah, and my mom said she would give him another chance and allow us to go to the shop to have sex with my dad for money, even nosying he was pervert and a sex offender, I heard. Yeah. So Janiyah is just, again, randomly telling who's ever asking her questions, and she's answering them, just openly saying that she was having sex with her father. Come on now. There's been grown women that have been assaulted by fathers and uncles and even brothers, and they can't bring themselves to even tell anyone. Or if they do, it's in a group or a close friend, or or they just kept it a secret all their lives. There's no way this 11, 12-year-old girl is just out here just saying, yeah, I've been having sex with my dad in the basement with my big cousin. It's just not happening. People, stop. I mean, really stop. Okay, one and only says, and she thought you were part of the family. NZ says, so they knew about my cousin NZ being pregnant. One and only says, oh my God, he was in the house? And NZ says, yes, my dad would pick us up and we would go in the basement with them. Yeah. See, we all know about the basement, of course, through the Texas, that he would park up the street, walk down the street, and Zaniyah and Jarvis, they would go into the basement. We all know that. And it's not a shocker that Jarvis was in the house. He was always in the house. He lived in that house sometimes. He spent nights in that house. You actually think that Shannon has had 5 kids. She conceived 5 kids in hotel rooms in that house, probably mainly. Wherever her mom was, wherever she was living in that house. It wasn't a shocker to Jarvis's children if he was in the house. So, I mean, come on, far-fetched? Far-fetched much? Yes, it is. Isabel says, baby girl, if you know anything or what happened to Desire, please tell us. Angie says, I don't know anything, but on January 8th was the last time going to that shop, and my dad went to back with Nazai in the room that we did nasty stuff in. Isabel says, baby girl, you're strong. I'm sorry you're going through it. Do you think King hurt your cousin? Remember, King was the co-owner of the shop. Nazaya says, I don't know, probably. This is what Janai is saying. I don't know, probably, because when we would be at the shop, he would be acting creepy as well. My name, little RM, said, and you was with Nazaya the day she went missing. Angie says, I was not. I was at home, him from school. But January 8th, I was in the shop with my dad and Nazaya. Isabel said, where is Nazaya? Angie said, I don't know. My dad and mom was dealing with that on that day she went missing. But all I know is he was with my dad. And people are actually thinking that this is true. People are actually falling for this shit, which is unbelievable. I was hoping it was more like children that was falling for this, but it's grown adults. They're like, oh my God, this is not Janaya. This is Nazaya because this person knows too much. By now, with all the research that I've been doing and talking about it and reading about it and listening to other things, I can do a whole account and pretend I was Nazaya. And everybody would believe it because I know exactly what to say. So people really need to stop. This should not be trending. This is just a fabrication. I found out on Instagram, okay? They call it Finstagram. I didn't know. And they have accounts called Finstas. It is accounts where they create to pretend. They call it second identities, or they call it cyberbullying, but it's just a fake profile, but they gave it a name, and it's called Finstas. And this is what this clearly is. It's a Finsta on Finstagram, and somebody has done this. It's just ridiculous. Everything in here is just not right. This is not Janaya's account at all. This is not Nazaya's account at all. This is somebody that just wants to find out something or just put more mess out there. This is what that is. I don't know why they're doing this. I never know why people do fake stuff. But whoever this person is, they have their reasons for doing it. But no. This is not Janaya or Nazaya's account. So sorry.